Happy Monday morning to you, everybody. Even if it's not a happy Monday, we're going to try to make it that way here on the Today in AZ After Show. Paul, Rachel, Vanessa, and Crystal Henderson stopping by the morning show. What's it like waking up so early when you don't normally have to?
Am I awake right now?
Yeah.
I thought I was dreaming this whole thing.
No. We were just like, okay, another half hour. Another half hour. We got through this. Another half hour.
Are you describing a recent date, or is this the...
Monday morning.
Monday. You guys make it fun. You wake me up pretty easy. Put a lot of pep in my step.
Yeah!
We tried.
We're going to get you fired up about a new internet debate. You saw it on the show this morning. We're expanding our conversation for the purpose of the after show. This started with the discussion today about who gets the armrests, particularly when you're talking about the two that the middle seat has potential access to. Does that person who drew the short straw in life, let's be honest, should that person have access to both armrests? I'm going to take it one step further. What are the unspoken rules of air travel? When we're talking airline etiquette, what are the do's and do nots? What's one thing you guys would never do on a plane?
Take your shoes off.
Yeah, take your shoes off.
So you were telling me about this morning. Tell the people at home who haven't seen it.
Yeah, so have you seen this on Twitter? It's a little boy and his dad, and it's a little boy, he's got to be like 3 or 4, and it's his very first plane ride. You have to find it. And so he's sitting in the plane ride, excited about his first plane ride. The lady behind him, you see she sticks her bare foot through the seat up against like the window wall.
Yeah.
And the kid's reaction is hilarious. You have to watch it. It's so cute. He's just like horrified. And the dad,
You see this foot going there?
so that's my thing, is I think taking like a socked foot is a different story if you're keeping it in your space. But when people kick the back of the seat and
I
bare
hate
feet
when they do that.
situation, that drives me nuts.
It's just disgusting. It's gross. Even the other day, I saw somebody post on Instagram a story of a lady cutting her fingernails.
No, you can't do that on a plane.
Don't do that. That is gross.
If you got a bad hangnail or something and you want to take it into the bathroom and fix it, great. Do not clip your nails.
Don't do it.
In your seat. Crystal, what about you?
Man, I don't even go for the armrest whether I'm window or aisle. Like, I just feel weird about it because you don't
gotta
know
stay in
whose
your
it is.
space.
And you know I'm traveling all the time. I'm almost on a plane like every other week. And it is dreadful when you have to pick that middle seat. So I'd say if you had to, give the poor middle seat person the armrest just because they've got nothing else going for them.
Well, because when you're by the window, most people lean toward the window, so you're not really using it, you know?
And you kind of stick,
So.
You do, and here's the problem. Crystal, you and I are both over 6 feet tall. If you're sitting in the aisle and your legs are long enough, well, what? She's tall. People have seen her on television before.
Well, over 6 feet with heels. 5'10"
Okay,
with that.
But you're
so with heels and hair, you're definitely over 6 feet.
All right, fine. I'm not trying to make you sound like more of an Amazon than you are.
I'm jealous. I would love to be that tall.
When you're in the aisle seat, your knees kind of stick out a little bit as it is, and if you're not careful, they'll catch the carts when it comes by. So I try not to lean too far in that direction. The aisle person might try to lay claim to that other rest, but then why does that person get two? That's not fair.
I know. So my husband's 6'4", but he's also kind of wide-shouldered, so he never takes the aisle because he says the cart hits his shoulder, so he has to lean in this way if he ever, but he will rather the window.
Yeah, I'm always the window. I try it my hardest.
I'm the same way. I'm a window guy. And I like to keep the shade down. I know some people in the middle seat will get upset about that because they want to look at all the clouds or whatever. And it's like, no, pal. I'm the window seat guy.
So
I control the window.
Control over, because I do get annoyed sometimes when it's like, you want to see what's sunny, and they immediately put the window down. I'm like, dude.
It's a type A personality thing. I want to control what I can
decision. Like, should you ask people, do you mind?
What? We're not taking a poll.
Do you mind? Let's vote. Who wants it?
What happens if one wants it up and one wants it down? Then you have the deciding vote, I suppose.
There's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I think you should ask. I think you should at least politely ask.
What do you feel about people eating on the plane? Like, and next to you, too? Because sometimes like if you don't think, maybe you don't like the smell of the sandwich that they brought in the plane, like, So
I always apologize, because we're always coming on with kids, and we've got, like, pizza boxes and all this, and burgers, and so I always apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're going to be eating, and because I do feel bad that you're stinking up the whole aisle.
Yeah.
Really, the whole plane.
I think there are worse things you can do on a plane than eat stinky food, because sometimes they're serving stinky food. I think being obnoxiously drunk on a plane is obviously a bad idea. This is my thing, and I know that I might be in the minority on this. You'll have to let me know in the comments, but I said this on the show. I will never recline my seat because we are already in a sardine can. I'm not going to make it worse for the guy behind me. Now, as luck would have it, the guy in front of me always has his seat reclined.
Then you have to recline.
Yeah, because if they're reclined, then yeah.
Nah, I will break the chain. I'm not going to be the next domino in that line. Here's the other thing that person does that drives me nuts. Even more so than having the seat reclined is when people do this.
Oh my God, I know.
Like trying to get comfortable, and it's like, you're smashing into me, man. Stop. Like there's a human back here.
I know, like brace.
The other thing that drives me crazy is you guys see this, like if you're sitting, when people are behind you are getting up to use the bathroom, and they
grab your seat.
and when you have long hair, they're like grab part of your hair, and I'm like, can you not just use your own body
That's
inertia
terrible.
to get up and go? You don't need to hold
Yeah.
the seat back to hoist yourself out, but that one drives me crazy. I
I'm
can't
gonna be
stand
on a
that.
plane in a couple days. I'm really looking forward to it right now.
I got another one. I gotta get
We
this
got
out.
tons.
Are you gonna say a baby?
Get it out.
Crying baby?
No. Kids cry. That happens. Why
Yeah,
you
but
bring
I know
headphones
people
on?
talk about it.
That doesn't bother
That
me.
doesn't bother me,
I mean, if they're crying for 6 hours or whatever, yeah, that would get on my nerves. But like, I get it.
I know. We've all been there,
The
yeah.
screaming human's not happy. Neither am I. None of us are.
Like I'm on a plane, my ears are popping.
This one's so bad. It is the people who stand up as soon as you land as if they're going to jump the entire line in front of you. Like, don't worry about these 25 rows of people in front of you. What are you going to do by standing in the aisle besides
love
get in
that.
everyone's way?
And they try to cut you off.
Yeah, what
from
are you
getting
doing? There's a
your
clear deboarding
bag.
procedure.
I'm like,
Sometimes they just wanna
everybody
stretch their
gets
legs.
out. It's an orderly thing. But yeah, that does drive me
Stretch
nuts.
if you want, but if you're 5 rows back and you're trying to get off the plane
not
before
getting
me,
off
Yeah.
mister, I've got news for you. It ain't happening.
I love the
it's
planes
so
where you can
exciting.
exit off both ends. Yeah.
I'm always like,
Front
jackpot.
and back. And you're like, yeah.
I don't fly anywhere nice or on a nice airplane, so that never happens to me.
Well, they do that at is it Burbank? or-
Usually, yeah, Burbank.
Burbank
Yeah.
in California. Yeah, they have a smaller.
Let's see what the people are saying. Let's get into the comments for just a second. While we look at these, I'm going to show you the ICYMI. Well, the directors in the control room will do it, but you get what I'm trying to say. This is a moment from this morning on Today in AZ, a part of the Morning Juice, something we do every day.
1 out of 4 men say this is the worst thing a person can do on a date. What is this? Let's check in with some of the text messages we received.
If you've got a guess, shoot it our way, 602-444-1212. Eat only a salad, says Kimmy.
Aw.
Gotta be a carnivore.
I thought this one was funny. Eat both shrimp on the tempura platter. This has happened to me. Don't cry on a date. No,
Michael,
you
that's
don't
great
want to do
advice.
that.
Awkward.
Women like emotionally vulnerable men, but not that vulnerable.
On the
Right.
first date.
This one is a good guess. Talk about themselves. Like when you're not asking about the other person, you just keep going on and on and on about yourself.
They
That's
say
bad.
the key to make someone like you is just make them talk about themselves.
Yes.
So shut up about your stuff.
For
Personally, I have a
sure.
feeling a few of our viewers have been on some bad dates recently.
Yeah,
It just
yes.
seems that way. I don't know what it is.
Talk about their
Oh,
ex.
that's a good guess, Shawnees. Well done.
Yeah.
No. Be late.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
Welcome to 2019, Gary.
Fashionably late. Bad
Yeah.
table manners would be the worst, says Jerry.
Take a picture of their food for social media. That is the answer.
That is kind of
But that is, so many people do that these days.
They do.
All
Says
the
a lot about
time.
dating in
The amount of
2019.
time.
Yeah.
You know, some people like they take 6 pictures and they're looking back at it and then
Yeah.
they start to play with all the little filters and comment. That's when it gets annoying, right?
It is hard, yeah. Just take the picture and then put it off to the side and then post it later.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
That's a good suggestion.
How long does it take for you to take a picture and post it to Instagram on average?
Oh
From
my
from the
gosh.
shutter to the click send button, how
At
long?
least 2 minutes minimum.
Yeah, I'd say a couple minutes because then you use all the filters
Yeah.
and you're trying to find the
The
right one. And if you
caption,
add
gotta
music
tag
to
the
it,
restaurant,
yeah.
You gotta tag your date. It's
It sounds like more than 2 minutes.
I don't
think
tag
you
my
guys are
dates.
fudging the numbers a little bit.
That may be wise. I always have the same date, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, you got to tag the restaurant so you get credit when you come back.
yes,
I love
that, yeah.
I like it. And then I'm into the dancing GIFs now, GIFs, whatever people call them. So I like to put those in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2
There's
minutes.
a lot.
That's a lot.
to
That's
do when
more
you're
than 2 minutes.
posting.
I know you're fibbing about that. I've seen girls sit there for an hour and just messing around with, like you said, the filters, I'm going to tuck the tummy in and smooth out the forehead and make the teeth a little whiter. And it's like,
That's what Vanessa's here for. She does it. She's like, do not post anything.
We
till
smooth
she's
the
done her
skin in this
magic.
business because the
Yeah.
morning show we work, we look tired sometimes. And it's like, okay, I'm just
It's
going to
really early.
smooth
What
this
do
out
we
a little
do?
bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow us on Instagram, but if you follow me, you'll notice that it's just, that's a picture and that's a caption and we
Paul
are
posts
sending it.
immediately.
But you write long
Well, prose is my
captions,
thing. I
you know?
enjoy wordplay.
I'm like, oh.
Loves a little wordplay.
Sometimes I'm just like, cool, I ate at a cool place. Bing.
Keep it simple.
All right, back to the viewer comments
You guys
real
have
quick.
some good comments.
Yeah, there are some good ones in here about the airline armrest thing. If you're just joining the show, we're debating airline etiquette. Who gets the armrests? Is it the middle seat? Can they lay claim to both? Real quick, shout out to everybody watching right now. Grandma's watching the show. Good morning, Darlene, Diana, everyone out there in Navajo Nation. Chad saying hello. Michelle contends that people each get one in the row. Here's the problem, Michelle. There are 4 armrests on a typical plane. So who gets the extra one?
Well, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to shift. And so sometimes, like if someone else shifts, like your aisle guy shifts over to the right and he's asleep, then you can sneak that right armrest, right? Until he wakes up.
It's a tactical move.
Full game plan.
Yeah.
You're not married to the armrest the whole flight.
Karen says she was just thinking about this. Well, it's fun being inside your head, Karen. Trey says the middle seat gets both armrests. Diana contends she just keeps her hands to herself.
Yeah. That's probably a good policy right now.
I like Patricia. She's like, I'll take what they give me.
Exactly. And if
my
you're in the middle
gosh.
seat, you're not happy about being stuck with
No.
it. Does anyone enjoy being in the middle seat? If you do, please let us know in the
Yeah,
comments.
that'd be
I can't imagine that person exists.
No.
But I will say this, when I see, okay, let's say theoretically, I'm on the plane, I got the window seat, some other fella is in for the purpose of this argument, I'm going to say that we're both larger men. Okay, so like the person in the aisle is like a similarly stocky male. We both have our eyes on the aisle looking at every person that's walking by like, please don't sit with us. It's like a Mean Girl situation. You can't sit with us. I want the smallest, most reserved woman on the plane to have that middle seat. Because I know if another big fella comes rumbling through, it is going to be an uncomfortable flight for all 3 of us.
So if you see Rachel walking down the aisle, you're like, hey.
Yes. There's nothing scarier than like the 300-pound guy that needs to sit in the middle seat.
Uncomfortable, you know?
And I'm not trying to weight shame you or anything. I was over 300 pounds myself before. I was that guy. It's not fun. All I'm saying is there's just not enough room on planes. That's really my argument
They're
here.
making it smaller and smaller every day. It's the strategy. So, yeah.
And then if you're like doing overnight flights or like, 18-hour flights, like those are brutal. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think the rules change on those flights because you are in that space for that long. Like the long international flights I've gone on, like the one to and from Pyeongchang when I went to do the Olympics, everyone had their shoes off. There were people lying on like the ground, like in between, because they're way more spacious
a little bit bigger,
than domestic flights. But like people had their luggage and crap just everywhere because you're on the plane for 14 hours or something. Like it's not like you can just sit there in one place. People do like to sprawl out.
You gotta walk around.
The rules are different on long flights. I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Any more comments to get to? I put my phone face down. I don't want to pick it back up.
Tina just says anyone who suffers that middle seat deserves both armrests.
So Trey says he's got sources, says many friends and relatives in the airline business. That means he's qualified to talk about this. He says the aisle seat gets the right armrest. Makes sense.
Okay.
Window gets left, the middle gets both.
Okay.
I like this one, though, from Cynthia. The man always seems to think that he gets the armrest, in my experience.
Oh, it's a gender issue.
I will
like the
say
remote.
it's like the man spreading thing. When they man spread on the flight and they're in the middle, I'm like,
Oh, yeah. I'm like, excuse me.
Oh, Jimbo said we sound like The View. That's a very popular television show. Thank you, Jimbo. This is just a little internet thing we threw together for you, but I appreciate the comparison.
Have you ever, like, when you put your arm, like, you're nudging them so that way they kind of move, you're like, oh, like, moving, and you just put your arm raised so that way they, like, move out of the way?
I get on the plane, honestly, I try to just make myself as small as possible. I put on my headsets and I'm
Yeah.
done. This is the only time I get to see whatever movie I want to see. So I just relish the entire flight. I binge everything I want to binge.
I pass out right away. Like, that's why I always try to get the window seat. I wipe it down with the Clorox wipe first of all, because there's so many
There's
germs
your
on the
airline
plane.
etiquette.
And then I put a jacket or something, or like if I bring like a little pillow, then I put it on the side, and I just try to like pass out right away.
Someone just typed the word unfollow. That's not how it works. You gotta. Leonard's the guy I don't want sitting in front of me because Leonard, before I read your comment, let me just say to you, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Those two are separate things. He says the seat reclines for a reason. Reclining all the way back and not looking at what the person behind you is doing before reclining is not nice. Stop complaining about absolutely everything.
I do a slow recline. Some people just shove it back in your face and they don't know if you have a drink there, you have your iPad, you have whatever going. They don't know. I do the slow recline, like I would think I'm sneaking them.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more polite, so at least it's like, okay, get ready, I'm coming back.
With the backup sound, yeah. All right, let's get to some fresh squeezed juice. So we still have some fresh squeezed juice in the show. We do. There it is. You can see the oranges.
Ooh, okay. So which side of the bed do you sleep on? Turns out it reveals a lot about your personality. So if you sleep on the left side, you likely prefer beer, drama films, older music, and then lean left politically. Right side sleepers tend to prefer wine, action flicks, rock music, and lean right politically. 60% of people never change which side of the bed that they sleep on.
Interesting.
Oh.
I sleep
go
on
ahead.
the side closest to the bathroom. That's how my husband and I always work it out, because I go to the bathroom way more often than he does. So wherever we are, wherever we've moved to, it's just like, or a hotel, I always go close. I get closer to the bathroom.
So if you're staring at the bed, what side though?
Well, it depends on what side the bathroom's on.
What side's your bathroom on?
Well, right now it's right.
Okay, so you're on the right side.
But our old house, I think it was left.
And you were a left sleeper then.
And you were
At the
fine.
new house, it's left.
And if you travel or you're in a
And we
hotel,
travel, it's always different.
I'm the same way. I'm close to the bathroom.
by the bathroom.
Or right in the middle. then you don't pick sides.
So I'm one of those, as soon as I get comfortable, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom one more time before I fall asleep. So yeah.
Vanessa and I are just diagonal across the bed.
Yeah, I'm like, rah.
Play the whole thing.
I do have a body pillow, so sometimes like I end up on one side with the body pillow, so it's just I don't know.
I love the body.
If you were to go look at my bed right now, and I didn't make it this morning, sorry, Mom.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I know. If you were to look at my bed when I get up in the morning, you would think that someone got killed in it. Like it is like there were signs.
fitful?
There were signs of a struggle. Like
my
the pillows are everywhere, the blankets are
Really?
upside down and balled
Do you
up.
wrestle the alarm clock?
That's what it seems like. Yeah, every day it's a fight.
Most of the time,
sleeper.
the one side that I don't sleep on is perfectly made and everything's
that's me
great, and
too.
I just stay in my little area.
Yeah, if I'm like, if my husband's out of town, I'm just sleeping by myself. Literally, I wake up and I could just be like,
Yep.
and I've made the bed. Because it's literally one corner, and I put back, and then I'm like, okay, time to get dressed. That's it.
That's
Diana says
interesting.
this is malarkey. She goes, I sleep on the left, but that does not describe me.
I do think it's malarkey. I'm going to agree with you. That was very random.
Yeah.
We have some people in the comments who are playing the significant other card when it comes to the airline stuff. Charles says, my wife is sitting next to me, so she get whatever armrest she wants.
Good man.
Charles.
Married, stay
Well
married.
done.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Tina says the hubby chooses the side furthest away from possible kid intervention. I don't know if that's in bed or on the plane, but it works both ways.
I know. I feel bad because my little one was a screamer, and people are like, "Have you tried?" Yes,
I've
yes.
tried everything.
I've literally
Yeah.
tried everything. He just would always scream the whole way up, but then he would fall asleep for the rest of the flight. So I'm like, if you could just bear with me for this 15-minute scream, it'll be a great flight for the rest of it, because he literally would wake up when we would land.
I mean, it is hard. I mean, I
embarrassing.
understand, they have to fly and everything, but sometimes I've noticed people, like, when they come on the plane, they'll see the baby and they're like, whoop, they go in the other, they go to another row.
It's nothing is worse than how you feel when it's your kid.
Yes.
Trust
Right?
me,
Yeah.
you shaming me and you giving me the side eye. Nobody can
Like, you already
make me feel worse
understand,
than
right?
I already
Yeah.
feel. So trust me. You can give me the stink eye all you want. I feel horrible.
Baby etiquette on a plane question here. If your kid is turned around facing me, let's say he's 2 rows up and he's making faces.
Yeah.
Can I make
that's so
faces
cute.
back?
I think it's
I do.
adorable.
Because I've been caught making the faces before and been given the look by the parents like, what are you doing looking at my kid? Like that kind of thing. But there have been other ones where like I'll have a little repartee
I
throughout the
love
flight where I'm
that.
doing the peekaboo kind of move,
Yeah.
It's making it more enjoyable for both of us. But as a parent, you don't think that that's weird if some random guy
I
is
love it.
looking
I'm
at
like,
your kid?
thank you for entertaining my
Right,
kid, so
okay.
I can actually, like, I don't know, cross my legs or stretch or do something, breathe.
I'm always that weird person that does it at the grocery store anywhere I go, because I work for the D-backs,
Yeah.
right? So I'm constantly interacting with the kids all the time. So I'll be at the grocery store, I'm like, hi, like whatever. The parents are probably like, why are you talking
Weird
to my
lady.
kid at the grocery store?
I had a situation in the mall recently where I was with a family, a friend of mine, but their whole family was together and I was like the fifth wheel. And there was a loose kid in the mall, probably 3 or 4 years old, but just running around, I observed for at least 30 seconds without any parents within arm's reach. And so I looked at my buddy and I was like, should we do something about this? And so we both kind of went over to the kid and we're like, hey, where are your parents at? Well, parents were watching the situation and now we're the creeps hanging out with their kid.
They're
and
like,
you
why
try
are
to
you
explain, like,
poking our
no, we
kid?
just thought he was.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Am I supposed to let that kid roam the mall?
No,
Join with the
I've
wolves?
blocked kids before, because you see, it's like, you got to run her. They're going for it. They're going to run. And all of a sudden a mom comes running in the back, probably with another kid in tow. I'm like, no, sometimes you got to just,
help
you
out.
can't let them loose. Can't turn your back
I feel
for
like
a second.
moms look after other moms in that
Yeah.
situation, though. It's when you get the weird single guy in his 30s that's like interfering with
That
your
might
kids.
be a little
What are you
creepy,
doing?
Bob. Might be a little creepy.
Hey, is that the guy from the news?
The TV.
It's a matter of facts, ma'am.
It's also creepy when you do it to the ladies you're trying to approach.
It's like, hey, where are you going? Don't leave.
We got 20 minutes into the show before we made a dating joke, but we got it in there. Any last thoughts about airline etiquette before we take flight?
No, it's been nice seeing on social media how some of these moms are helping out other moms and randomly, carrying other people's kids, walking down the aisle just to give mom a break.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, help out. Help a girl out.
Am I allowed to watch the movie on your monitor?
No. I had a guy that did that recently on the plane.
I'm that guy. I rubberneck a little bit.
But they can't hear, right?
Enjoy it without hearing.
Subtitles.
Just watching the whole thing.
A lot of times they have subtitles. I watched the Cloverfield movie like that. Cloverfield Lane. There's John Goodman in subtitles. It was riveting.
No, you have to bring your own in-flight entertainment.
What about on the way to load the plane, like TSA? You take off your shoes, and like people say not to wear flip-flops, but I think that's the easiest way to get through
No, but that's just gross.
I don't
'cause
like
then
my
your
bare feet because
are-
they don't clean.
Yeah.
We've already done the stories on how everything in that whole security area is disgusting.
Yes.
It's more about you than us. If you want to
I don't want
contract
my bare
hepatitis
feet
from the
there.
floor or something, go crazy.
Stick with socked feet for a plane. I think that's a good game
Yeah,
plan.
that's true. Okay.
In the words of producer Alyssa, we gotta go.
Gotta go. It's been riveting.
Pulling the cord on us. Sorry for all the people we upset this morning. I promise.